A few years ago, a young boy needed the help of sports to save his life. At the time, the boy was about 16 or 17, but what stood out about him was his divinely physical attributes, which made him perfect for the game of basketball. Why? Because he was over 7 feet tall. Unfortunately, because of the bullying, harassment, and humiliating looks he encountered on the streets of Ibadan in Nigeria, he had been unable to attend school for more than a year. However, the young Nigerian center is currently gaining popularity all over the world as a result of the publication of a viral video showcasing his remarkable basketball physique. The video of the big basketball player Abiodun Adegoke, popularly known as Big Naija, has gone viral and gained even more traction because basketball legend Shaquille O'Neal, who stands an impressive 7 feet 1 inch tall and weighs 325 pounds, helped spread the video by posting it on his Instagram story in February 2021. Join us in our video today as we take a look at the incredible rise of Abiodun Adegoke, one of the tallest basketball players in the history of the sport. But to ensure that you don't miss out on more great content like this, please take a moment to like and subscribe to Discovering Hub Sports. Also, click on the notification bell. Without much delay, let's dive into the video. At the time he quit attending school, Abiodun Adegoke was in his second year of senior high school, and he spent most of his time inside. He grew physically bent over, as a result of bending indoors to avoid having his head severed by the ceiling fan blades in their small rooms inside their rented apartment, where he lived with his siblings and their concerned parents. Abiodun was then living a miserable life when he was spotted and drawn to the media space. However, a good Samaritan eventually persuaded him to leave the inconvenient looks of Ibadan and move to the quiet seclusion of Wasami or Ile, where he would resume his pursuit of a great education, pursue a career in basketball, and live among young people who would respect and even revere him for his incredible natural gift. He urged Abiodun to explore the intriguing new opportunities that might be lying in wait for him, warning him that, depending on what he did, he could have a full-fledged expedition in a strange new world. Since he had never had such opportunities in his life before, he was fascinated. Because you see, Abiodun had always viewed himself as a useless freak of nature. But not this time. The young phenom took the calculated action of enrolling in the Segun Adigbami International College and Sports Academy on a full scholarship provided by the academy, after accepting the offer and expressing his belief in it. Within a few weeks, he had moved and begun a new life in the tranquility of the Segun Adigbami International College and Sports Academy. He was approximately 7 feet, 2 inches tall at the time of the measurement. However, what is astonishing is that this incredibly large specimen of a man was only 17 years old. Abiodun underwent a full transformation after just one initial introduction to other academy students. He totally transcended his timidity and shyness, and quickly gained fame in the school. On the Segun Adigbami International College and Sports Academy, Abiodun Adegoke had grown to be a megastar. His self-assurance had soared, and everyone wanted to be close to him. As his reputation in the school grew, so did his capacity for leadership. He could sense that he was on track to take over as the academy's top boy in the future based on how the pupils gravitated around and revered him. Oddly, the only shoes he had when he arrived to the academy were a pair crafted from a truck tire. He wore his tire shoes everywhere he went because his size was not available anywhere else, and would only take them off to play basketball barefoot. His helping hand, who had persuaded him to enroll at the academy, tried to get him shoes, but it turned out that size 53 shoes were quite difficult to find. The situation was so terrible that Abiodun's helper turned to the Nigerian basketball legend, Olamide Oyedeji, who was selected by the Seattle Supersonics in the second round of the 2000 NBA draft with the 42nd overall pick. Unfortunately, Al-Amidi was only able to purchase a pair of shoes in a size 50, as he too had trouble finding a size 53 in the US. Apparently, you can't purchase shoes in such large sizes in stores. You have to order custom-made pairs. Fortunately, Al-Amidi had the foresight to return with the only pair of training shoes he could find in a size 50. Abiodun thought that a pair of proper athletic shoes that were too small for his feet was the nicest gift he had ever received. By the next morning, his roommates in the dorm told everyone at the school how Abiodun had spent the night trying to shove his feet into the shoes by any means possible. He was later seen joyfully dancing with his feet caught in the tightest-fitting shoes. After that, Abiodun and those shoes had an odd relationship. The shoes barely ever left his foot during the following 3 months, up until he suddenly disappeared from the academy. He wore them to school, the track, on the road, and on the basketball courts, among other places. In fact, he wore them everywhere. As a result of his training in the academy with former national team coach Alabi Adalanwa, he experienced a dynamic development spurt in the beginning of his high school career. Both his basketball skills and physical fitness had significantly improved. In 2016, Abiodun was getting ready to take the West African Senior School Certificate exam. On the sidelines, connections and plans for the Raw Academy gym were made with various college coaches in America. There were compilations and recordings made of the basketball matches he was playing for the academy, and several US college coaches were watching and waiting for Abiodun to finish his secondary school education and take his scholastic aptitude test. This shouldn't have been an issue because Abiodun was an excellent student who would have passed with flying colors. Abiodun did not attend school a few weeks before his final exams when students went home for the Easter break before returning to face the exams. All attempts to reach him were futile, and he was no longer picking up the phone. However, the panic was short-lived because it was later discovered that some sports agents had come and convinced Abiodun to join them in the Middle East for a professional basketball career. He dropped out of school in his final year and went abroad with them. He reappeared a few months later, having sent the academy photos of himself in Qatar, and resurfaced across many social media platforms in 2021, looking and feeling good. Shockingly, he had grown to a stunning 7 feet 9 inches tall, making him arguably the world's tallest basketball player. The young giant, also known as Big Nija, has been seen in several viral videos dunking the ball without jumping, and even Shaquille O'Neal, the legendary basketball player, has been captivated by what he has seen and has praised Abiodun's abilities. Today, he is apparently the subject of inquiries from a number of American NBA basketball coaches who are interested in having him play on their courts. The beauty is that age is on his side, and at 23 years old, he still has a lifetime to make an influence on the NBA, the best basketball league in the world, and the world of basketball in general. In the event that occurs, he will go down in NBA history as the tallest basketball player ever, and his name will be immortalized in gold. What do you think of our video? Let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, tell your friends about it and hit the like button. Also, share with friends on Facebook, WhatsApp, and Twitter.